I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love. I put my trust in you, and I trust in our love. I put my trust in you, I put my trust in love.
Hello, friends. My name is Dane Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain, and we are your fuck buddies.
We are a dating and sex advice podcast where we take your sticky, sexy situations and turn them into sexy, sticky situations.
I feel like you did better because I was trying to give you shit there.
It's because I wasn't also reading my question while I was trying to...
You probably should just not do that in general. Simply put, we are a podcast that answers sex and dating advice questions that we find either online or from our wonderful twisted listeners. Right here, right now, in your ears, on Monday. Extra episodes on Patreon. We love you. Dane, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling.
You're chilling.
I'm pretty much living in this closet today.
Yeah, it's we're recording hours today. Multiple hours.
Probably close to 5 hours today.
Yeah, which is great because we also did 3 or 4 yesterday. So it's been a week. But you know what? We're doing it for you because we love you.
We love you.
What are we going to talk about this week? We're going to talk about, is it true that man's first love is the strongest?
First love is the strongest. Is he just trying to smash?
Help! I'm in love with my neighbor.
Disappointed!
Ooh. It better not be from that asshole.
It is. Kevin Sorbo was like, why won't anyone have sex with me?
Honestly, we have a lot of advice to give Kevin Sorbo.
And I don't think any of it's sex and dating advice. I think it's just like life.
Hey, I'll bet he does also need that, though.
One of my favorite things about Kevin Sorbo is a friend of mine.
Guys, cancel him. He said he has a favorite thing about Kevin Sorbo.
Was my friends had a sketch comedy show.
No, I didn't.
That happened. I have more than you as a friend. I know this is now.
Guys, I gotta go.
We've spiraled. We've ruined the show. They had a sketch comedy show, and for whatever reason, they had a running joke about Kevin Sorbo, and I can't remember what it was, but it wasn't good. It was like making fun of him as a person. And then for whatever reason, it was maybe like a Comic-Con or something. But Kevin Sorbo was in town. He actually came to the show.
Did he know?
Was like, yeah, like they tweeted him like aggressively, like abuse. And he came and it was like kind of like a roast of Kevin Sorbo, but also like it wasn't in good spirit. Like it was them like just mean. I don't think he realized how actually like genuine they were, their dislike of him.
How was he about it?
I wasn't able to go to the show, but apparently like he took it.
Did he just leave? Did he stay around? Did he say anything? Did he swing?
I don't think he hung around.
That's fair.
I like to think that my friends are the reason he went further. Like they radicalized him. But yeah, it's very funny that
So what you're saying is we got to start tweeting Kevin Sorbo more.
Yeah. They also
starts today.
Got in a battle with like some weird Northern Canada like rock band that
we've been way too chill.
That's what I'm saying. We need to start a fight with someone. We tried with Dan.
Yeah, Dan didn't want the smoke.
Dan just
stopped tweeting after we started. He was like, you know what? I can't live up to this. All right, ready? This is by Lil Beanie 32. Is it true that men's first love is the strongest? Female, 27 years old here. I don't know. I feel like every guy I've dated has had an ex in the past that they never really fully got over. Like it could have been from high school. Are all men like these? If I'm 27 and haven't met the one yet, will I never be the girl he loves most?
What? Like,
what are you doing?
What are you talking about? My first love. Let's talk about first loves.
Okay.
I'm not going to say her name.
Meatball sub.
Yeah.
No.
I met her like in elementary school. I had a crush on her and was like, young loved for, I would say, most of my, pretty much right up until I went to college, essentially.
Damn.
Yeah.
Unrequited?
We never did anything
about
it. But like there was definitely moments of like, will we, won't we? She moved at one point in time.
She was still the entire rest of the time? Did she exist? Was she a mannequin?
And so I recently, she disappeared. Essentially, like,
oh my God.
It ended with quite literally, like, not to get serious or like sad or anything, but like she got heavily into drugs. And one day just literally like disappeared. And for most of my life, like most of the time, I thought she was dead. Like
you really ruined my "she disappeared" joke because I thought you just meant she like. No, didn't contact you or was like moved away or something. And that's actually serious. And now I feel terrible. So
So like I literally thought that like she had died.
Mm-hmm.
And because like her parents never got back to me. Like I was pretty close with like her family, right? And like none of her family ever responded back to me about anything. And I guess like what ended up happening was like the family like imploded essentially. And none of them were in contact with any of them. But then like I made contact with her again. She added me on Facebook randomly, like one day in my 20s, and I was like, what the fuck? So like I was just like, hey, and she was like, hey, like
surprise.
Gave the whole story. And I was like, yeah, I went in a really dark place, ended up having a kid. She saved my life. I got clean, like blah, blah, blah. I was like, hey, that's amazing. That's great. And then we had plans to meet up, and like life just never did. And then fell out of contact again. And then recently like got into contact, and like, it was so disappointing because I don't want to get too much into like too many details, but essentially had some like really, really, really bad views on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what happened? Like, it was like talking.
A lot, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, it was like talking to a completely different person, and like, which I understand.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. And for sure had been through a lot, but it was like core values had changed.
Yeah.
That is to say, this is my long-winded way of saying.
I don't know if you're really doing much to reassure this person as you're talking about a multi-decade long.
Well, the thing is like, I don't have those feelings for that. Like and it's someone that like had a pretty substantial impact on my life, but like, I don't hold a torch for them. And like, no. I don't base anything. Like, I have been able to love many people for considerable amounts of time successfully without thinking of this person.
Yeah. Like my first like love, if we want to talk like puppy love, was in I guess what do you call primary school?
Like elementary school?
Yeah. So like towards the end of elementary school, there was a girl a year above us who was like, everybody was obsessed with her.
Forbidden.
I know. The like super hot, tall, blonde, like really cool. Everyone's obsessed with her, including myself. So the first person I was like, oh my God, just like obsessed with, was not a nice person. And I think eventually I was like, oh, this person's really mean and just not a nice person. So that went by the wayside very quickly. Got over that quite quickly. Then my first girlfriend at about like 14, we dated for a year and like lost our virginity to each other and all that. And that was my first like proper love of not like, you know, pining from afar, but like, oh, a reciprocal, like totally into this person. I was over that within a year of us breaking up. So it's like, no, like I don't have any feelings for this person.
And like,
you know, like there's a fondness of like, oh, hey, remember we were young and we met at a fucking metal gig downtown when we were 14 and like dressed up as pirates. You know what I mean? Fucking great. We had adventures. Things were fun. But like fond memories of something shouldn't be. It also ended terribly. So there's no fond memories of that. She egged my house, pretended she was pregnant. It was terrible.
Those were the eggs she was throwing.
They were the eggs. Yeah. Thank God. If she kept some of them, who knows? You know, and then later on we bumped into each other. And I think enough years had passed that she was like, sorry. Or it's like, hey, I don't care anymore. You know? So even like the bad feelings had ceased to exist. You know what I mean? So to answer the question simply, No.
And
like
I want to go on the flip side of things. I was saying, because like I'm quite close with my like first adult girlfriend, right? Like,
this was all the child he was dating.
Well, I was dating children when I was a child.
Just again, the phrasing sounds funny.
Whereas like, you know, I dated her for 4 years. We lived together. My first sort of like, you know, first person I slept with, first person I lived with, you know, all the like big firsts. We broke up. It was quite messy. Didn't talk to each other for a very long time, and then reconnected and became friends. And like most recently, like became pretty close friends once again. And it's like, that also isn't a bad thing. Yeah. And I don't think you should be weird about it. And like, thankfully my partner is incredible. My partner is also really good friends with a lot of her exes and a lot of people that she used to date. I think that is also very healthy, right? So I don't want to be like, oh,
they're done.
Like, go the opposite direction of being like, oh, the first love means nothing to anyone ever. I was like, no, like you can build a part of your life with someone that no longer holds a romantic aspect of something, like, and like you can still love a person in different ways. Like it's not, love isn't a one particular thing.
Yeah, like I love you.
Yeah,
I love my partner. They're different,
completely differt. Yeah, ours is better.
Love my so much she could never even begin to approach this.
Yes. So it's like I also want to stress that like it is possible that you may find a partner who still cares for someone that they once had like a romantic love with.
Or even someone who, like this question asks, does pine for someone and never got over it. Is it a thing all men experience? Not at all. Is it a thing women don't? Also not true.
Yeah.
Anybody could be weird about their ex. I don't think it's a gender thing, and I don't think it's a normal thing.
No, and that's the thing. Is like if you recognize that your partner is still wistfully hoping and longing for someone that isn't you, then don't be with that person. That's not a person who's ready to be in a relationship with someone else.
Yeah, I would also make sure that, one, it's not you interpreting it as this. You know what I mean? Are they just friends with someone? Have they mentioned a time back in the day that was fun and you're like, oh?
Yeah.
Like, is it your insecurity coming to the fore, or is it really something that...
Like, every day you catch them at like 4 a.m. open, just staring at pictures, like scrolling through their Instagram?
You're checking their Facebook shortcuts. And on top of that, if it's always happening, the common denominator is you. Where are you finding these men?
Yeah.
Are they in like an AA, but it's for getting over your ex and you just poach them from outside? Are
you a therapist just dating your clients?
Yeah. Like, you got to talk, like, if you realize a pattern in your life, and this isn't a normal thing, we're telling you now, you got to realize something is happening, whether it's who you're finding, how they're finding, like maybe the way they're acting because they're pining for somebody else is like a thing that like
validates you. Like there's probably like an overcompensation of,
or
like,
maybe a coldness that you
want to fix them.
Yeah. Or maybe when people are genuine, you're like, ugh, they're too overbearing, or like they're too eager, and like you're going for these unavailable men. The problem might lie with you if this is a consistent.
Yeah.
You know? So is it a fact of life? No, it isn't. Also, where'd you hear this?
Around. Embarrassed win. Is he just trying to smash? I met a guy online. We get along really well. The only issue is that I'm trying to save myself from marriage, and we are both kind of crazy about each other and very sex positive. He has a history of sleeping with a lot of people and is a decade older, so I have a feeling the power imbalance might be dangerous. He boasted about his physique, which led to him showing me his 12-inch imprint.
Imprint? What's it imprinted in? The snow?
Like, do you mean like outline? Like, did he press it down?
Put it in the snow.
Also, 12 inches is...
Yeah, that's... The odds of it being that are very low, my girl.
Like, that's my thigh. Like, that's... Our conversations are often about how excited we are to do stuff together, and he is the one who pushes boundaries because I am willing. What? He assured me that he will respect my desire to remain a virgin till marriage, but the fact that we keep having these conversations makes me a little worried. Is this a red flag? I've never had a super serious relationship. This feels like such a good thing if he actually respects that.
It doesn't sound like you have a serious relationship right now.
Also,
are they just talking online? And if all you're talking about is like, we're going to bone, here's the outline of my 12-inch dick in the snow.
Here's my insane penis.
What is it like? It can't, where are they from? For some reason, I'm just thinking England. I don't know why.
There's no,
because not everyone has snow. So what else do you think he's imprinting in? Like Play-Doh, clay, like spread over, like maybe flour.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
it looked weirdly like a rolling pin, but
I could. Yeah, it like none of this
gives me any faith that he is being sincere.
Well, also, I want to talk about her for a second as well.
Yes. I'm willing. I'm going to talk about all these things. Are you like, I'm so horny to suck your dick in 10 years when we get married?
Yeah. Like what, like I maybe this is unfair, but I feel like someone who wants to save themselves from marriage isn't as sex positive as they may think they are.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yeah. What's sex positive about that? Nothing.
Yeah.
Because you're putting this weird, like,
onus on sex that like sex means like you somehow are less worthy of being married, or that marriage is going to be cheapened, or you're going to be cheapened as a product.
Yeah, like virginity is important. Like putting virginity on this pedestal is all about like sex negativity, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you're doing that. But also, if you've decided that's not what you're going to do, sure. But then why are you sexting someone?
That's the thing. It's like, it's very strange to be like, I'm super sex positive and I love sexting and I love talking about how hot all of our sex is going to be, but I'm not going to have it because of an arbitrary reason that I've come up with, which is inherently not sex positive.
But also, like, I'm not going to be like victim blamey or whatever, but it's like, if I wasn't going to do a thing, I then wouldn't be like, hey, let's talk about maybe doing that thing. You know, like, yes. Surely you're giving somebody the wrong impression. And when it comes down to it, consent is king. And like, it shouldn't matter what impression is given. But at the same time, surely you're going to save yourself and them and like make it a little bit more safe for you if you kind of like give realistic expectations as opposed to undercutting that all the time.
Yeah, if you're dying to have sex, then why are you waiting to have sex? Yeah, like I just don't.
Especially if you are sex positive, because then why? Like, what reason could there be?
Yeah,
I don't, unless it's like sex itself is off the table, but you're willing to do other things.
Yeah,
and that's what you're sexting about, and you're like, I don't really know, but like, if all you're talking about is sex and sexting and like can't wait to get together and do these things, here's my big old fucking hog. Why would you then expect meeting up to be anything but that?
Yeah, you've set a tone.
Yeah.
And then to expect, like, what do you think is going to happen when you guys hang out? Like, do you think it's going to be chaste and, virginal? Because, like, your relationship now isn't.
Yeah. If this is all it is, it's weird to expect it not to be that when you're in person.
Yeah.
And, like, do you see a realistic, like, relationship with this man who is so much older than you and all he talks about is sex and has slept with all these people? Not that sleeping with all these people makes you less honest or whatever, but like it feels like he's in the mood for X and you're angling for Y.
And even if this dude is being honest, how fast are you intending to marry this person?
Yes.
Like, right? Like you should still have the due diligence of like dating and then you
living together,
being exclusive, and then living together, and then you know what I mean, like going through the paces. It should
be a couple of years minimum,
yes,
or else you're gonna ruin your life by hooking up with someone or getting married so you can hook up with someone,
which seems far more insulting to the institution of marriage. To be like, oh, I'm not marrying this person because he's a right fit. I'm not marrying because I love him. I'm marrying because he's got a giant fucking.
I don't know if this is gonna work out, but that dick is so big.
It's so big, and I need it. Also, I got bad news for you. You're probably not going to have a good time with a 12-inch dick if you've never had sex before.
Also, maybe not ever.
Ever.
Like, that's a really bad... Can you imagine? You're like, all you've heard is like big dicks equals good. And you're like, fuck yeah, I've nailed it down. I've got this one guy, 12-inch cock, gonna get married. I don't believe in divorce. Because again, most people who want sex after marriage, I doubt are very into divorce.
Pro-divorce,
right?
Yeah.
So you're doing it, and then it's like, oh, this is so big, it sucks.
Yeah, we cannot have sex because it's too large.
Yeah. Because, like, that's all those, like, big dick Reddit posts are. Is like, believe me, girl, there's a limit.
Yeah.
And that limit is usually in the 9-ish or, like, around there. Like, it's not a 12.
Yeah.
Because that's just too big. But, I mean, and not many people have 12.
The next time you're eating fresh at Subway and you order yourself a foot-long sub,
try to put that up.
Could I put that inside me? And I promise, I mean, I can put it in my mouth. I put many footlongs into my tummy. I love me a good old meatball sub. But like, I promise you wouldn't look at that and be like, I want to put that. I could fuck that.
And you can try, because much like soaking, Jesus doesn't mind if you use a footlong.
Yeah. Well, he does now after what Jared did.
True. Yeah, but if you go to Firehouse Subs, Jesus will let you get away with it. Is it question number 2 time?
Well, technically 3, but 2 for you.
I can't remember which one I did. Okay, I did this one. Throw RA branch 2473. Help! I'm in love with my neighbor. He's 34. The neighbor is 30 and female. A couple weeks ago, my new neighbor came over to introduce herself. My brother and I, we share our flat, joked it was like the opening to a Girl Next Door character from a movie. She had a plate of homemade chocolate chip cookies and a bottle of wine and said they were to apologize in advance for any headaches caused by the renovation she was doing. She left her numbers. We could let her know if there were any issues with the noise. I ran into her walking dogs in the neighborhood a few times, and we became friends over the next 2 months. We were texting constantly, and she'd come over to drink wine and escape the construction at her place. By this point, I was already so in love, I couldn't remember a time she didn't live next door. Even writing this, I know I sound crazy, but I've never felt this way about a girl before. I ended my last relationship in November, feeling pretty pessimistic about relationship and dating on the whole, but she is so interesting and kind and smart, not to mention completely gorgeous. Last weekend, she was over for dinner. 2 of us ended up sitting outside, a bit wine drunk. I made my move and we kissed. It lasted a few minutes before she eventually pulled away and headed home. I walked her to her door and we kissed again. The next day, she came over and asked if we could talk. She explained she was dealing with some pretty serious health stuff at the moment, which I won't go into, that she wasn't prepared to complicate the relationship and someone else's life with it. She suggested we dial things back so we stay friends if that's what I wanted. In the moment, I wanted to be supportive, so I said I'd be happy to do whatever I needed to be a good friend to her. We're talking less, haven't really seen each other since. I'm losing my mind. Truth is, I'm so in love with her. The thought of not being there with her through everything she's going through has been keeping me up at night. I feel like I'm going slowly mad, but I don't know what to do. Do I tell her how I feel and risk our friendship, or do I take a back seat and pine quietly from the next door? Never felt this way about someone. A week ago, I was convinced I'd eventually marry this girl. Her being ill doesn't change how I feel. But I ultimately want to do what's right by her. If anyone has advice, please. I'm lost.
Okay, this is kind of cute.
Yeah.
I was really worried it was going to go creepy, but it seems like there is a mutual attraction. There
may not be.
Okay.
Right? Like,
speak on that.
They kissed while drunk.
Yeah.
The next day she was like, nah, let's not.
Sure.
Could it be genuine in the sickness and stuff? Or is it like, there's no indication as to where she's at.
Right.
You know what I mean? She's polite. She's nice. I appreciate that. It might be honest. It might not be.
Yeah.
Right.
I think if that's the case, I think lying about an illness to undo.
If you're ill and it's just an easy way to get out of something, I don't think it's quite as nefarious, right? It might just be the white lie of being like, I have so many things going on right now.
Yeah, that's
when
fair.
Really it's like, I also don't want you. You know what I mean?
You've already shot your shot.
Mm-hmm.
She already knows you are into her.
Mm-hmm.
I say go one step further and like actually shoot your shot and be like, look, I hear what you're saying and I'm happy to respect that. I'm happy to respect your boundaries, but also I really like you. I think you're great. And I think that as much as you want your space, and I respect that, and I'll give that to you, I am also here. I would like to support you as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, say what you said, essentially. Like, be like, I don't want you to go through this alone. I really like you. You have become very important to me in this short period of time, and the idea of you struggling and doing this alone is upsetting to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you to know that I am willing to participate and be a support system for you. And as a result, like I also like, that's also me saying I want to further our relationship. Like I don't want you to think that just because you're sick, I don't have these feelings for you. And give her the out, give her and be like, but I hear you.
Yeah.
If this isn't something you want, that's totally fine. And I'm capable of being your friend. If as we've talked about before, if you're not, have this conversation and be like, unfortunately, because of these feelings, I will have to like step our friendship back. However, like if you need me, by all means, if you have to like come knock on my door, I don't want you to feel weird about
that
it.
You
like,
can't because of what happened.
Emergency situations or whatever, like please come and get me. That's great. But I do have to walk our friendship back a bit
because
for my sake, for your sake. Just to be fair to my feelings and your feelings.
Yeah. And I think that's clear is like, there is no indication that he can willingly give up those feelings at the end. Yeah. And he's like, do I shoot my shot or do I just quietly pine from, and it's like, no, actually that is not what you should do. What you need to do is, again, what Dane said. And I think it's really important if you do shoot your shot that you make it about you and not about her. Yeah. Right. So don't be like, oh, I don't care about what you feel. Right. Yes. Like, that's not it. If she's saying, oh, I don't want to complicate someone else's life. You say, and again, only if you're genuine about this, I don't mind. I'm okay if you complicate my life. I am here for that. I'm willing to. The
complication is a part of like, not like the price you'll pay. Because that shouldn't be it, right? Like it shouldn't be a transaction. It's like the complication is some of the parts that I have, become endeared with. I
think for me, it's just like, you need to make that clear. Like she's saying, I don't want to complicate someone's life. If you say, I don't mind, I am willing, like I am accepting of this, obviously ball's in your court. I just want to let you know, I do like you and I'm okay with this situation if you are. Yeah. She may not be, but the second part, which again, you were saying is you need to be honest. I think very honest in, are you actually willing to deal with this thing? People with health issues, it can be really draining for even their most loved ones who have to help caretake. It can be really stressful. If it's something she may die from, are you going to be okay with the possible grief? Like, be honest, because if you get into this just because you're like enamored with her and then you can't handle it, you're going to make things worse for her and yourself. And that sucks, right? Two, maybe look at, are you rebounding? Because your last relationship wasn't that long ago. Yeah. And you seem to have fallen for this girl very quickly and very hard. And prior to really spending that much time together, you were making a lot of grand statements like, I love this girl the most. And before, I thought I'd never love anyone again. Maybe. But you got to be honest with yourself in those two regards before you shoot your shot. Yeah. And then when you shoot your shot, you need to be honest both about, if she says no, can you remain friends? And also, are you actually willing to be in this position?
And like how much of it, to go back to like the rebounding thing, is like how much of it is the situation, right? Like you joke about like this girl next door, like how much of it is sort of this like fantasy that just keeps kind of like playing out like a movie. Of like,
hey, I've done it. Literally, I had a whole girl next door thing that did play out like a movie, and there were all these like weird coincidences and like bumping into people and like, oh, let me pop over with a bottle of wine and show you the building that became like a year-long like fucking thing that like was very intoxicating because having someone like next door is really like, it's very flirty and fun. You know what I mean? And like there is the situation, as you say, that adds to it that like, it's almost sometimes hard to see the forest from the trees because it's not a normal relationship, right?
Yeah. So it's something to think about. It's really something you have to like. The one thing we're really stressing here is you have to be sure. You need to be sure about every aspect of this,
and you need to be honest with yourself first and foremost, and then with them.
But I do think there is like if this is a genuine thing, I think there is a strength, and I think there is a sweetness of being, you know, finding someone that you connect with and finding someone that like matters to you, and then being like, look, I understand that you're doing this because you think it's easy for me, but I'm willing for it to be hard to be with you, right? Like I'm willing to deal with the difficulty.
I'm okay with that.
Like the difficulty of your situation is not a deterrent for the what I see with you.
And it is very possible that doesn't change where she's coming from.
100%.
You know what I mean? Just because you're willing to take it on doesn't mean she's willing to put it on you.
Yeah.
Right? Whether or not she, again, is into you or not, right?
Yeah.
Because, again, this could be just an easier way to let you down while remaining true. Or it could be that she does like you, but again, it's too much. So, like, you need to be ready for that possibility.
Yeah.
You need to be ready to be cool in that possibility. And then you need to be ready to cut things off if you need to, because I think we can both agree one option that isn't available is just to quietly pine from your house, because it's going to be weird.
Yeah.
For you, for them, everybody.
Yeah, 100%. This is from just a whole ton of letters that I'm not even going to attempt to figure out. Oh, wait. No, sorry. That's not the question I'm doing. I'm doing this one. This is from Afraid Golf. Disappointed. 29-year-old female. I will say this has nothing to do with the incredible Kevin Sorbo reading of that
the only good thing he's ever done.
Yeah. 29-year-old female. Let me preface by saying that I'm in an awkward figuring it out phase. Wanting a relationship, but unsure if I'm ready for one. I have a third date tonight. We met at a casual bar and ended up hooking up on the first night, which I'm fine with. The second date was just ordering in and Netflix and chilling at his place because he was coming home late from a trip that was the only night we could see each other, which was fine given the circumstances. During this date, we discussed intentions / what we were looking for, and it sounds like we're on the same page of wanting a relationship, but taking our time, not rushing, and just seeing if there's compatibility between us. After that night, I asked if he'd want to do a real date next time, and he said yes. I was kind of waiting all week for him to reach out and plan it, but he sent me a link yesterday to this casual tapas wine bar. I actually can't drink this week because of the medication I'm on, and I told him this, but I guess we're still going there. I'm by no means materialistic and don't need someone to take me out on fancy / fun dates all the time, but I feel like it's kind of weird that we've had 2 pretty casual dates and that he wouldn't want to plan either a nicer restaurant date or an activity given that I can't drink. I feel like when I'm dating, the dates have variety to get a good idea of how the other person interacts in different environments. Am I overthinking this, or would you feel disappointed too?
Well, tapas, so no.
Tapas, so no.
Which is basically what she's saying. Like, how casual are we talking about this tapas thing? Because, like, to me, tapas is a little bit fancy. And also, to me, if I can't drink, I don't care if I'm going to a place that has drinks. Surely the food is the point, right?
Especially at a place like, it's one thing to like go out for
like
dinner.
I wouldn't take you to a cocktail bar, right? Like,
yeah.
You know, if he was like, hey, there's this sick brewery, they don't do food, sit there, watch me get trashed. Yeah, I get it.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Here's the best cocktail bar in the city. I'm going to have a great time. And I hope you enjoy watching me.
Yeah.
You know, that would be different. But like, it feels weird that like, I think you're getting hung up on things that don't matter unless there is something really shit about this tapas place. If it just fucking sucks.
I've never been to a
shitty tapas place. They're all nice.
Again, I don't know what you mean by casual. Do you just mean like not fine black dining? Tie? Like it's not like a $40 a plate tapas? Like what is casual? Because like you're like, oh, we went to a casual bar. Like
what was it, a dive bar?
One of my favorite bars to go to when I was dating, I would consider a casual bar, but it was fucking cool and everyone liked going there.
Yeah, but also she was like, that was when they met. So she was there Obviously, she doesn't mind, right?
I think that was.
Did they not meet on a night out?
They say they met at a casual bar and ended up hooking up on the first night, which I think
maybe they.
I think that was like
online,
their first date.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was like
I think that was like their first meeting was.
But like,
and it's
what are you looking for? Like,
again, I don't know what. Like, there's a bar here that has won like multiple awards.
Mm-hmm.
I would still consider that a casual bar.
Yes, like, is it a dive bar?
No,
I mean what they're talking
yeah.
about. You know what I mean? Is it like a dive bar? Because I can't imagine a dive tapas place. And it's like, I don't know.
If there is,
that sounds great.
Please tell me where it is, because that's exactly what I want.
Yeah, I just don't understand what you're missing out on here. It's like, yeah, you can't drink, but that has nothing to do with it. I don't know why you're putting so much importance on it. Because then if you went to a fancy place, would you be like, oh, this place has great cocktails. Well, I can't
have wine.
It has great wine. Like, what would you be happy with? It's like, you ask for a date. He's taking you on a date. You say you're upset that you haven't done activities, but this is only your second date out. So it's like, if you want to do activities, say that. I don't think there's anything wrong with him having taken you to another. And
you're like,
place.
oh, I was hoping he would plan it, and then he did.
Yeah.
Like, you wanted him to plan it. He went and found a place that he thought you'd like. I'm sure he's like taking you here because he's like, either he's been and he likes it, which is a cool thing. Like, I love, like, one of my favorite things to do is like
being introduced to new fucking places.
When someone's like, oh, have you ever been here? I'm like, no. It's like, oh, great. It's like one of my favorite spots. Yeah. Cool.
Now you have a new favorite spot.
That's the joy of dating people, is like getting to see like their favorite thing. So it's like, you're like, oh, I want to get it to know. I want to know compatibility. What do you think this is?
Yeah, that's the thing. Feels like you're not compatible because you, despite saying I'm not materialistic, is like, he's not bringing me to an expensive enough place.
And
that's so dumb.
You're like, oh, I can't drink, but he's not taking me to a fancier restaurant. It's like, do you not think that a fancy restaurant has drinks?
Yeah.
So it's like, and you're upset that you're going to this tapas bar because it's not expensive enough. Mm-hmm. That's your thing. And again, I cannot imagine a shitty tapas bar unless like you're in Spain and like.
And that's going to be so tasty.
It's probably going to be delicious.
So I just don't understand what metric you're gauging all this shit from, but it feels like you have that like outside pressure to feel worthy or worthwhile. You know what I mean? Like, you're judging things by shit that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, by the price tag of the menu, by like, hey, you haven't been, I assume.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do you know how bad or good it is? What's wrong with the drink? Like, you're trying to find problems, or you really are materialistic and you're unwilling to admit that. If you want to do an activity, it's your turn next, right? And organize one.
You say specifically, I feel like when dating, the dates have to be a variety to get a good idea of how the other person interacts in different environments. You met at a casual bar. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to a tapas restaurant.
Boom.
Those are two very different things.
Yeah.
And if you want variety, what do you think tapas is?
It's literally variety.
It's variety.
Multiple small
you get
plates.
A bunch of different things and try, like, I don't know, and like, I'm sure, like, you might go somewhere else afterwards, and if that's what you want to do, suggest it.
Yeah,
right. Like, if you want to go and like head up mini golf or a batting cage or fucking a driving range or something, like, you
are here too. You're in this relationship.
You're not just a passive participant who's at the mercy of whatever he decides to plan.
You're just sitting in the backseat complaining.
If he chose a restaurant, choose the after dinner thing.
Yes. Or just the next date, be like, let's do an activity. Like, I don't understand what you're complaining about. And it really does seem like you're just trying to find issues because you want him to take you to a fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
Yeah.
But again, maybe if that's you're materialistic and that's what you want, maybe this isn't the relationship for you. But also, maybe you should stop saying, I'm not materialistic.
It is also like, the dude made time for you coming home from a trip. The only day, it's like, when I'm traveling, I don't want to fucking get home and then like hang out with someone.
If I'm gonna fuck though,
I mean, yeah, maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm down.
I guess it depends on the trip, right? Like, how, like, if it was like a fucking long
I don't
flight,
know, man. If I'm gonna fuck, I'm sorry. I will make bad decisions to fuck.
Yeah,
I'm a horny boy.
Yeah.
Quick shower. I don't know. I'm down. I've done worse things.
But with her,
no.
She seems like a lot of work.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. With you, nah.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're gonna be like, tapas? Ugh. No, like, again, unless there's something we're missing, in which case it's on you for not having included it. You need to take a breath. You need to analyze what you really want. And what you really want is for him to take you to a fine dining restaurant. And that's weird.
Yeah, I would love, I really wish I could, like, I want to
know what this fucking tapas
I want to see the tapas restaurant, because I bet it's probably cool.
Yeah, especially if it's like casual. It feels to me like hipstery, like that's,
Yeah, but like, that's, it's dumb.
Do certain women make men harder? This is by Time Read 4017. I know erections aren't necessarily an indicator of attraction or arousal, but are there people that make you harder than anyone else? I, 26 female. I've been hooking up with a great guy, 26 male, for a few weeks. We have great sex, and he's never had an issue getting hard, but recently he's been making comments about how hard he is when we hook up. He says it often, and one time he's being flirty, and asked if I was the only one. He said yes. I wonder if this is just regular dirty talk, or if there are people who just do it for you, and he's being serious. Never had a guy literally say it or comment on his hardness, so I haven't been sure about what to say back. I do think we have great chemistry, but has any guy had someone that literally makes them harder? What should I say back? Might be a dumb question, just haven't experienced this before.
I don't think so. I don't know if anyone's ever made me... I don't know if there's a degree of hardness. Like, I think, like, when I'm fully aroused, I'm fully aroused. I don't think I can, like... I don't think there's, like, someone who puts me into, like, ultra mode.
I kind of get it in a way, but I don't think it's like... I don't think it's a person.
I don't think it's a physical hardness. I think it's a metaphysical... Like, I think someone may... Like, I think there are people who, like turn me on more, but I don't think... I think if you got, like, a hardness meter and strapped it onto my dick, I think the number would be the same. I think just there is a... I'm at an elevated level of arousal because of someone.
It's also the same as like, oh, I'm so fucking wet, or you make me so wet. No one's down there with like a fucking, hold on, drip into the moisture. You know what I mean? Like, no one's getting a dipstick and being like, And if someone was to be like, wait, are you wetter now than you were with the last person? Like, you'd probably be like, yeah. You wouldn't be like, well, actually,
No.
the millimeter, like,
there was 3 other people. Like, he's dirty talking.
He's just saying you turn him on.
Yeah.
He's super turned on. Good. Great.
That's the way it should be.
I love the idea of like, I didn't know what to say. Like, oh, I'm so fucking hard. And she's like, what? What does it mean?
I mean, I guess like, I understand the idea of like him being like, yeah, you're the only person who's ever made this. Like, I understand that, like, you know, if you've been taken aback by something,
but like, you don't get to be taken aback by that when you ask the question.
I guess
you don't get to be like, oh, am I the only one? Like, what did you expect? Well, there was Sandra, Rita, Matilda,
oh
Matilda.
no, I fucked Lubega again.
A little bit of Monica made me hard. A little bit of Sandra, also hard. A little bit of Tina, not so hard. Really sorry, Tina, you were cool. Like,
poor Tina.
Yeah. They're like, no self-respecting person is going to, in the middle of sex, start listing off other people
that have made them harder or as hard.
Yeah. Especially when they're just saying, I am turned on. You are making me turned on. I am enjoying this. Why are you trying to ruin it? You're trying to make this bad for you, for them.
There are some things you just don't think about, especially things that are said in the heat of the moment, right? Like when someone is giving you a compliment or like during sex, just understand that sex brain is doing its best to be nice.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, we're all trying to be hot.
Yeah.
And we're kind of got canned lines in a way, you know what I mean? Like, if someone's like, oh, you rocked my world. Are you like, she has a whole world?
Hold on, wait, what?
It's a lot of land.
There's a lot of that's dangerous.
She's so much more wealthy than me, and I rocked it. Are the people okay?
Oh yeah. Well, what happened? How are the cities doing?
Oh no, I'm a murderer.
Was there fucking tsunamis?
Oh god, is that why you were so wet?
Is it a tsunami?
A punami?
Yeah, you did it.
Thanks.
I guess we do another question.
Damn, we blew through that one so quickly. You're good. Just stop overthinking it.
I can't stop feeling guilty. No, I don't want to do this one. I keep reading it. Oh, here we go. This is from NT Doi. Can someone please kill me now so I don't have to suffer through this date?
Hold on.
I made plans to hang out with a guy from Bumble at 6 o'clock. He messaged me on the app at 5:58 saying he's going to be there in 10 because he's trying to get out of this happy hour. Are there any men who just want to actually seriously date out there? I give up. Already wish I was back home playing Xenoblade.
So wait, you're there and he says, I'm really sorry, I'll be 10 minutes late?
I mean, technically 8 minutes late.
True. That's not that bad.
And you want to die?
As a boy who occasionally is not on time to things, it's not that bad. 10 minutes is an acceptable amount of lateness to anything.
Especially when you're texting and saying, hey, sorry, got held up.
Yeah.
I'm going to be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah. I don't understand why that would make you spiral. I would be like, oh, cool. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
A lot of people could have just shown up at 6:10, and also that wouldn't be a deal breaker for me.
Yeah. I appreciate there is nerves of like, going somewhere and being like, oh, and like waiting. Like 10 minutes can seem, especially if you're nervous and like, like 10 minutes can be an eternity when you're sitting at a bar. Waiting for your day and be like, oh man, am I getting stood up? Is this happening? Like if you haven't heard anything.
Yes.
Right.
And the fact that they let you know is good because that's nice of them.
I try to operate under the rule of like, if I think I'm going to be 20 minutes late, I'm going to let you know 20 minutes ahead of time.
Sure.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like that's.
But what if you don't know? It's hard to know you're going to be 20 minutes late.
But I mean, this dude is at a fucking bar happy hour.
I will say that does detract from his statements. Like, I got to get out of this happy hour.
But I mean, like if it's a work thing. Right, like if he's at like a work networking event or something, and it's like, sorry, this like, I was talking to a fucking dude, and I just couldn't get away from him.
I will say it's like, just less like, it's not like, oh, sorry, subway got delayed, be there in 10 minutes. It's like, oh, I'm at this happy hour. There's a little less to it, but again, if it's a work thing, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
I mean, like even like a social thing, like trying to like get out and like if someone like corners you, you can't just be like, got a date, bye, and like push them. Like right, like there's a little bit of
10 minutes is fine. If it was, 45 minutes, I got to talk to Dave from accounting. I'd be like, okay, I'm not sitting here for 45 fucking minutes,
Yeah, or like he shows up like half an hour with no
hammered from his happy hour.
Yeah, with like no, sort of like text or indication. That also isn't okay.
Man, I know the rest of this date sucked shit.
Yeah.
Like, he came in and she was like, hey, like, girl, calm down. I'm sorry, but who cares? 10 minutes, you're fine. He texted you. It's understandable. You're going to tank this and waste your night because you're worried you wasted your night.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that perhaps you might be having a little difficulty dating because someone was 8 minutes late and you said, please kill me so I don't have to deal with this? And also, is there anyone who'll seriously date?
Yeah.
He was 8 minutes late.
Yeah. And he let you know.
And he gave you notice.
Yeah.
Not much, but like he texted you. He let you know he was running behind.
My first date with my partner, she was late, which was wonderful because I was also late because I was halfway there and realized I forgot my wallet and had to run home, get my wallet, go back down. And the relief I had when she was not there was wonderful.
This shocks me for both of you. None.
Fair. Yeah.
I mean,
compared to her, I am on time. Like I am on time. I'm 10 minutes early compared to her.
I have a really hard time with dating and timing because like I come
Dane's a fucking nerd and arrives 3 hours early.
I come from a film background where if you're late, you're fired. So I always had to do the thing where like I would always show up at like dates and it was just like,
but you see, when you're talent, you show up whenever you want and they're happy you're on set.
It's specifically
they're happy when you're star talent.
The line is specifically about talent.
No, not when you're like talent with a capital T is all I'm saying. You don't know, but let me tell you.
15 minutes early, you're on time. 10 minutes early. No, 15 minutes early, you're early. 15 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. If you're late, you're fired.
No, when you're this star talent.
That's the mantra.
Unless
you're Vin Diesel, who never shows up. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
But sorry.
Vroom.
You think you're Vin Diesel?
Thinking and knowing are very different things. Vroom. Family.
Oh, fuck. It is him. It is him. Oh, no.
You can't see I'm wearing a tank top and a really big cross.
Yeah.
And I've been sitting in the car this whole time.
I've died several times and come back to life.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a blast and we love you.
Yeah.
Thanks for popping by. Let your friends know about us. Let your family know about us. Go like every single video I've edited and posted in the last 2 years.
I promise you.
There's a video you haven't liked that I've posted.
There's also someone in your immediate friend circle who is useless or a piece of shit.
Or is so good that they need a little weight off their shoulders. You know what I mean?
Or they're in such a healthy relationship
that they need kind of like, breath of fresh air. People out there are not doing it. I'm feeling it.
They need a reminder that they got it good.
Yes.
And that like the grass ain't greener on the other side. The grass is scorched.
The grass is, I think, just green worms.
I shouldn't say that because I know there are a lot of single people who listen to this shit. There is green grass. Don't worry about it, guys.
And we're going to guide you there.
Yeah.
We're just leaving the pieces of shit in the green worms.
Yeah.
We love you. Thank you. We got Patreon. We got social medias. We got ratings on apps. Please do the things, and then we'll be able to do this thing more. And we love you. Thanks for staying with us. Thanks, Josh Eagle and Harvard Series for Song Paper Stars.
Yeah.
Ready for some bad sex already?
Uh-huh.
This is going to be my new favorite way to describe women. Despite myself, I've been thinking about his wife all day. I find myself hoping she's a vocal participant in her neighborhood watch. It would also be reassuring if she lies completely still during sex. There is the possibility she might be cool. She might truly be fine with her husband going on a date with a girl who had 16 times more viable eggs. She might be limber, keyed into Venus retrograde, and use natural deodorant. A woman so untethered by all of New York's women that she has given this nubile horde a wholesale blessing to fuck her husband.
None of that made sense to me.
I'm just going to like every time like, hey, partner, I'm going to go have coffee. It's a girl who does have 16 times more viable eggs than you. Is that okay?
Yeah, your viable egg situation is dwindling compared to her.
I got this brand new dipstick that can also measure egg viability as well as wetness.
Cool. At first, I thought this was a man fantasizing about a woman, but I understand now that like she was hoping that the woman sucked so that her husband wanted to fuck her, or she would want to fuck. Either way,
I'm not really sure, honestly.
I think it was a woman being like, I hope this wife is like so free spirited, but also like lame in bed that she would be cool with her husband fucking me.
Yeah. The one with I've counted my viable eggs.
My viable eggs, and
that's
also,
why I'm important.
I move around a lot in sex, like a wacky waving inflatable man.
Very quiet in my neighborhood group.
Yeah, I don't say shit about Neighborhood Watch. Those drug dealers, safe as houses.
It's pretty cool.
My name's Dave Miller.
And I'm Niall Spain.
We've been your fuck buddies.